It's nice when things get better. So I did reviews for seasons 1 and season 2 of Orphan Black. Why not come back and do the third one? And you probably guessed from the intro, like this so much better than season 2. I had so many problems with season 2. It was really kind of ridiculous. But this season, way better. I actually think I like this one better than season 1. And that's about all I can say before I get into spoilers. So that's your spoiler-free portion of the review. And I'm just going to be jumping all over in terms of what I talk about, with zero regard for spoilers. So Sarah got back in my good graces by doing the smartest thing she should have possibly done, getting Kira away from all of this. I understand she's your kid and you want to stay close to her, but God, that should have been done a while ago. And it's not like I don't like Kira. She's not as annoying as young characters often are in these things, but just logistically, get her out of there. So I'm glad that was done. Helena I liked a lot this season. And she had grown on me last season. This time I really like her a lot because, you know, we get like, okay, she's kind of on the good guy's side, but she is still crazy and she is still dangerous. I really like that they haven't defanged her. Allison's still doing great for me. Donnie I'm really liking too. The two of them together are just a lot of fun. Honestly, they could kind of be their own show, and actually in a way they almost are, because their storyline actually intersected very rarely with the rest of the show. And normally that would annoy me because it would be like, well, you're using that as filler, except that she's so good and he's so good, and the two of them trying to bumble their way through becoming drug lords and sort of the things that they're able to knuckle down and get, and the other stuff that they're just, oh, you're sewing over your head, was actually really fun and interesting. So even though it did not completely tie back into everything else, and that should have bugged me, it didn't, because it was such an interesting story anyways. And that really is what makes the difference, because by design this should drive me nuts, but you do it right and I don't care. You know who I was really surprised by this season? Delphine. I've actually really enjoyed watching her develop as a character and go from this kind of generic, I didn't care love interest for Cosima into a character that I don't know if I can trust. But like, she didn't just replace Rachel and become the new Rachel, but she's clearly got her own thing going on, and she's still embedded in this group that we know is dangerous. And actually, since I mentioned Rachel, I really like what they did with Rachel, because I was expecting, given what happened to her at the end of last season, that she was just going to show up with an eye patch, just as angry and badass as she always was. I like that there was real impact to what happened to her. She has to go through recovery. She's kind of out of the game a little bit. The scene with her and Felix, and he's threatening her, oh, what an epic scene that was. I'm probably not going to mention Felix again, so I'll just throw out there now. He was good, he always is. Mrs. S was good, always has been. Ferdinand, I really like. Finally, they got a character who works, because he's kind of coming in and he's a little bit sort of filling the kind of intimidating guy that Olivier was supposed to be in the first season and Daniel was supposed to be in the second season, and neither of them really worked at all. He's good and I like him and he's fun. Paul, you know, I was up and down on him throughout the show up to this point, but you know what? He went out like a boss. What an awesome way to close out that character and close out his story. Just really satisfying for me as a viewer. So yeah, overall, really good stuff. There are a couple of nitpicks though still, of varying degrees. There's the casters, and they kind of ride neutral for me. They're not bad, they're certainly better than the Proletheans were, dear God. I never really got overly invested in them. The woman who was heading them up was functional. Cosima is annoying me that she's still alive. I really wish she would have just died at the end of season 2, and it really irritates me that they got her into another relationship right off the bat, because on this show she has 3 functions: to be geeky, to be sick, and to be gay. Heaven forbid we don't have her in a relationship with a woman or pining over a woman, because then we might actually have to deepen the character and come up with something meaningful and new for her to do. No. Get her dating again. At this point, they really should just write out Art, because they have not found anything for him to do. Second season, this season. Look, either write him out completely, or at least just sort of take him off the board for the time being and bring him back when you actually have something for him to do. Overall, though, this was a really wonderful season, and it almost made it all the way to the end without doing one really stupid thing. and then right at the finish line it tripped. What is that really stupid thing? The donor for the original DNA template for both Lita and Castor is Mrs. S's mother. What? I mean, are there only 15 people on the planet and they all have to be related? This is ridiculous. It's this woman we've never met, never heard a reference to. It's literally sheer dumb coincidence that it happens to be Mrs. S's mother. Now, that said, they take the curse off it slightly by introducing the idea that she is the donor for both the male and female strands. That is quite interesting. Again, has nothing to do with the fact that she's Mrs. S's mother. That has no bearing on anything. You countered this really stupid idea with an interesting one, and while it didn't quite make up the ground, it helped. So that's it, Orphan Black Season 3. I am very much looking forward to Season 4. I'm not going to make any promise that I'll do episode-by-episode reviews. It's a possibility, though. I'm considering it. We'll see what happens. In any case, Orphan Black Season 3, have you seen it? Have you seen all 3 seasons? Which one is your favorite so far? 3, I think, does clock in as my own personal favorite. But whatever your thoughts are, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Please go ahead and like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Council of Geeks, and check out the Council of Geeks podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. Until next time, this council is adjourned.